Let us pray. Today, Lord, we will begin anew. A new commander, new officers, and new ideas. As we move forward, Lord, give us your guidance and your caring love. Keep us all safe in our travel, Lord, as we strive for the betterment of our American Legion and all of our veterans. We thank you, Lord, and we pray to you for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do for us. Amen. Gary, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Recovering. Well, Bob Schmidt reports to the podium to discuss the final report of the Resolutions Committee. Yeah, we'll continue on. Bob needs his nourishment. The chairs now recognize Ty Bowers for the graduation ceremony of those who have completed Buckeye American Legion College, as well as introduce the 2026 and 27 Dean of BALC.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to just take a couple minutes to give you the state of the Legion College. We are still strong and providing relevant content to our members. And we are also taking the next step in working on providing an online curriculum. And with this, we're looking to build content for both the auxiliary, the SAL, and the Legion Writers. So please, anybody that has ideas for content that you would like us to build, please let us know. We can incorporate that into the curriculum. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to our department staff who continues to make what we do possible. They spend countless hours behind the scenes. Yesterday morning, I got up at 6:30 to go down and make sure the rooms were ready. John Voldemort, I call him the great and powerful Oz. He's the man behind the curtain. He was already down there getting the room set up at 6 in the morning. So, you know, our department staff is second to none. So I would like to give them a round of applause. I'd also like to thank our department leadership who believes in our mission to provide training and educational opportunities to our Legion family. I'd now like to take the moment to kind of show our impact. So all former BALC graduates before today, can you please stand up? Thank you. Now can I have anybody who is currently an instructor or who has been an instructor for the BALC, please stand. Okay, to take it the next step farther, anybody that graduated the National American Legion College, please stand. You can kind of see a pattern. We have a very strong representation in the American Legion education community. And I would like to make a special note. We have with us two graduates from last year's 2025 class, Brian Fowle. And then we also have a new member who transferred from the state of Indiana, who is a National American Legion College graduate, Anna Murphy. And the last group I'd like to stand up are the ones that went before me as former deans of the BALC, who have, set the stage for the rest of us to succeed. So, all former deans. And finally, the last man standing, Ohio has the honor to have one of the National American Legion College academic directors and instructors in Ken LeBlanc. So to wrap up our numbers from yesterday, we had a total of 72 attendees, we had 18 new enrollees, and we have 10 graduating today. So at this time, as I call your name, please come forward and meet the commander down by the flags, and you will receive your diploma and your Buckeye American Legion College pin. First up, Kurt Amons. Next, David J. Robertson. Brian Harriet. Deborah Gilchrist. Sybil Thompson. Ms. Sybil, okay. Champ Brown. Charles Brandon. No Charles? Okay. Michael O'Reilly. Next, Jason Nye. Our final graduate from yesterday, Jacob M. Marks. Now, we did have one more graduate that actually completed their coursework at Midwinter Conference, but they were not able to be at the graduation ceremony Sunday then, and they're unable to be here today, but they did ask that we at least acknowledge him and read his name, and that is Robert Barnhart. Thank you all for your time.
Candidates for office have now provided the names of their nominators, seconders, and department adjutant needs to do so immediately. Follow direct election will be continued as installation of our new officers. They deserve your attention, and the special for the special occasion is, I'm having a heck of a time. I must be a short time. I would appreciate you remaining until, that doesn't make sense, until the conclusion. I just, no?
They just have to bring it in. I have to.
Anybody coming off the floor? Not yet?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yep.
Good time. It is now time for my final report. This is where you give me thanks. Give me thanks for being done, not have to listen to me study. Now, I want to thank all of you for the great year, all the wonderful things you've done for me, for my lovely better half, the real commander, and all the support. Thank you. I'm done. I call the Sheriff Mel Baer to present the Confidential Committee Report. I cannot speak this way.
Good morning, Legion family. Saturday, final report of the Credentials Committee. The Credentials Committee met in room Summit A at 4:30 Saturday, July 11th, for the purpose of determining the voting strength of the 2026 American Legion Department of Ohio Convention. 9 committee members were present. The final tally made by the Credentials Committee determined that 269 delegates, 23 alternates, and 34 guests are registered. The registered delegates and alternates represent 123 posts. The final voting strength for the 2026 convention, as of the close of the second day of registration, July 11, 2026, is 276. I'd like to thank the members of the Credentials Committee for their cooperation completing the reports as needed for this convention. Commander, as a duly elected and registered delegate to this convention, I move for the adoption of the Credentials Committee's final report.
I will now entertain a motion to accept the Accreditation Committee report. Second. Excuse me.
Lockyer, 13th District, delegate of this convention. I second that motion.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed the same? Motion carries. Okay. I call Adjutant Robinson to read the rules of the election of officers.
Nominations and elections of rules. The nominating rules for this election are set forth by the Rules of Order of Business Committee in 2025 and listed in your program. The following are the rules for this election. Committee is in 2026 and listed in your program. The following are the rules of this election. 1. Robert's Revised Rule of Order, newly revised, shall be the authority of parliamentary procedure with the following modifications. 2. A delegate desiring to make a motion or address the convention shall rise, address the chair as commander, and state their name and the name and number of their post before proceeding. 3. Debate shall be limited to 3 minutes for each speaker. 4. Debate on any one subject presented to the convention shall be limited to 30 minutes except under special rules as the convention shall adopt prior to debate. 5. Only 2 delegates from any one post delegation shall be permitted the floor on any one subject, where disagreement exists within the delegation. 1 delegate shall be permitted to speak on each side of the subject, except on a division of the question, when this rule shall be applied separately for each division. 6. The floor shall be permitted but once to any individual delegate on any one subject, except by a 2/3 vote of the convention. Chairpersons of the convention committee may speak as frequently as may be necessary in connection with the report of their committee. The presiding officer shall not entertain any motion which will curtail further debate without affording the committee chairperson an opportunity for rebuttal. On a request of a delegate, any resolution contained in a committee report shall be considered separately at the conclusion of the vote on the remaining report, and after discussion voted upon at that time. 7. Any resolution originating on the floor of the convention shall be in writing and then automatically and without reading the referred to the adjutant or secretary of the convention, who will refer them to the appropriate committee for their action and report thereon prior to the end of the convention. 8. Decisions on rules of debate or parliamentary order by the presiding officer may be subject to the appeal by any 2 delegates from 2 different districts under a point of order. Such an appeal shall take precedence over any pending question and shall be decided forthwith. An appeal from the decision of the chair shall be put to the convention on the question. Shall the decision be sustained? 9. When the poll of any post delegation is demanded by a delegate of any other post, the convention secretary shall pull the vote without discussion of the question being voted on. When a poll of the post is demanded, it must be made immediately upon the announcement of the vote of the delegation. 10. On roll calls, the post delegation chairperson shall poll their delegation on the floor and announce its vote upon the presenting their credentials. It's a lot to read, guys and ladies. To the person in charge of the microphone. 11. Past department commanders shall be entitled to vote, provided they are registered as such. 12. Only delegates or their accredited alternates may be heard or given recognition on any issue or in the nomination of candidates unless he or she has 2/3 consent of the delegation present. 13. Delegation may arrive at a vote in such a manner as they choose but shall announce it in terms of a full vote and not in terms of a fractional part of a vote. The vote of any delegate absent and not present by an alternate shall be cast by the majority of the delegates present from his or her post. 14, there shall be no unit rules of voting in this convention. 15, voting shall be by acclamation except when a roll call standing count is directed by the commander or deemed by a delegate of at least 3 posts of 3 separate districts. Election of department officers shall be by roll call except when a candidate is unopposed, at which time the vote may be by acclamation. A roll call voting will be as follows. The delegate chairperson or designee will approach the closest microphone and cast votes from the microphone. The delegate chairperson or designee shall be prepared prior to the calling of their post number or move towards the closest microphone so that their vote can be cast in a timely manner. All standing count votes will be by district with the district commander assisted by the first and second vice commanders. Polling the vote from each post delegation chairperson. The district commander will announce the poll to the assembly by post from the microphone when called upon by the commander. The registration desk will be closed 30 minutes prior to any expected standing count to allow the credentials committee to update and delegate strength for the determination of the majority 2/3 of the delegate strength for standing count. 16, in the event a post has not provided the method by which alternates shall be designated to serve in place of an absent delegate, the chairperson or acting chairperson of the delegation shall make such designation certified by the post commander or district commander. 17, prior to the election of department officers, the department commander shall appoint, subject to approval of the convention, a chief teller of elections and such numbers of tellers as the department commander deems necessary, provided that the total number of tellers to appointed shall be an odd number. In a contested election, each candidate going to the ballot shall be entitled to 1 teller of the candidate's choice if the candidate so elects. 18, nominations for department officers shall be from the floor. Each post may present as many candidates as it chooses. 19, nominating speeches for department officers shall be limited to 5 minutes each. Not more than 1 second speech shall be made for any candidate, and said speech limited to 2 minutes. 20, when more than 2 candidates are nominated for any office, voting shall continue until 1 candidate receives the necessary majority of the votes. If on any vote taken, no candidate receives the majority of the elect, a new vote shall be taken for the place to be filled. The candidate receiving the lowest number of the votes on the preceding vote shall be disqualified. All roll call votes for officers or otherwise will begin with the next consensual post where the last roll call vote ended. The 2024 convention last roll call vote ended with post 614. The first roll call vote for the 2026 convention, we had no roll call votes in 2025, so 2026 will start with 615. However, no roll call. 21, the order of election of officers shall be department commander, first vice commander, second vice commander, treasurer. In even years, we will elect a national executive committeeman and an alternate national executive committeeman. 22, those recognized by the department commander shall be entitled to a respectful hearing, and the chair shall have the authority to clear the gallery of the floor or have a sergeant at arms escort the convention, creating a disturbance or interference with order of procedure. 23, none of the above rules shall be construed as preventing any member of the American Legion Department of Ohio from serving on a convention committee. 24, the consent of 2/3 of the voting strength of the convention is necessary for suspension of the standing rules of the convention. 25, the department commander will have the authority to appoint a parliamentarian to assist the judge advocate for this convention. 26, any amendment originating on the floor to any resolution shall be presented in writing and transmitted to the presiding officer at the time of the introduction of such amendment. However, in the case where a word is stricken and another inserted, this change can be done by one making the report or introducing the resolution.
Thank you.
Yep, you can say that.
I call Department Adjutant Robinson for the reporting of the names and tellers appointed to serve a tabulator for the election and the names of the Chief Justice.
All right. Chief Teller, Chief Judge is Mel Bear, post 91. First recorder is Chet Nowak, 512. Second recorder, Dan Goodman, 754. First checker, William Ditterbrand, 214. Second checker, Larry Stottsbury, 221. First adding machine, Melissa Rogers, post 12. Second adding machine, Suzette Heller, post 1. Notebook, Michael White, is 707. Draft tally sheet is Jim Dombros, 610. Mr. Commander, this report will require ratification by the body.
The chair would entertain a motion to accept this report. You gotta go to the bank, please.
You calling on him or me first now?
Go ahead, Bob.
All right. Commander, I make the motion that we ratify him.
Thank you. I hear a second.
Commander Jake Marks, 4.9 seconds.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed the same. Motion carries.
Before we get to that, let's go back to this. So, business remains.
Mr. Schmidt. Unfinished business resolution convention committee. Will Robert Schmidt report to the podium to discuss the final report of the resolutions committee, please? Jacob, you have the report.
Sorry for the delay this morning. When you get up in our upper age bracket, some of us know that Mother Nature says you have an issue, you need to take care of it. You either take care of it or pay the price later. Anyway. We're waiting on the actual report from the resolutions committee. We will.
Bob, read the resolution.
Pardon?
Read the resolution.
Yes, sir. I have resolution 2609, expanding American Legion Auxiliary eligibility. Whereas the Internal Revenue Service IRS code permits an organization to be exempt as an auxiliary of a 501c19 veterans organization if it meets the following requirements. 1, it is affiliated with an organization in accordance with the bylaws and regulations of a veterans post or organization described above.
2, at least 75% of its members are veterans, spouses of veterans, or related to a veteran within 2 degrees of grandparents, brother, sister, grandchild represents the most distant allowable relationships. All members are either members of the veterans post or organization described above, or spouses of a member of such post or organization, or are related to a member of such post or organization within 2 degrees of consequent. I should have practiced that word. Anyways, 4, no part of this net earnings ensures to be the benefit of any private shareholder or individual. And whereas the eligibility requirements of the American Legion Auxiliary are established in the National Constitution of the American Legion as Article 13, Section 2, and the eligibility standards conform to the IRS requirements for an auxiliary of a 501c19, Section 2 reads as follows. Section 2, membership in the American Legion Auxiliary shall be limited to the 1, grandmothers, mothers, sisters, spouses, and direct and adopted female descendants of members of the American Legion. And 2, grandmothers, mothers, sisters, spouses, and direct and adopted female descendants of all men and women who served in either of the following periods: April 6, 1917 to November 11, 1918, and any time after December 7, 1941, who are being a citizen of the United States at the time of their entry therein, serve on active duty in the armed forces of any of the government associated with the United States during either the eligibility periods, and died in the line of duty or after honorable discharge. 3, grandmothers, mothers, sisters, spouses, and direct and adopted female descendants of all men and women who were in the armed forces of the United States during either of the following periods: April 6, 1917, November 11, 1918, and any time thereafter, December 7, 1941, who served on active duty in the armed forces of the United States during either the eligibility periods and died in the line of duty or after honorable discharge. And 4, to those women who of their own right are eligible for membership in the American Legion. And whereas the eligibility requirements in Article 13, Section 2 have been amended twice since the 2015, the first to make clear the adopted female descendants were eligible, and second, to expand eligibility to male spouses of veterans. And whereas the composition of the American Legion Auxiliary has changed slightly, but the mission has remained consistent over the past few years since 2019. Expansions of eligibility, allowing for service for more males in the organization, provided additional members in support. The American Legion, and whereas the current eligibility standards do not include other male relatives within 2 degrees of consanguinity, including sons, fathers, grandsons, brothers, and grandfathers. And whereas the inclusion of sons, fathers, grandsons, brothers, and grandfathers would comply with the IRS requirement for the auxiliary of a 501c19 veterans organization and have no effect on the qualifications of such status by the American Legion Auxiliary. And whereas the male family members support their veterans family members consistent with and similarly to the support provided by female family members, and whereas some of these male family members include fathers and others close relatives who have lost their family members in military service, and whereas expanding eligibility for all male family members will not affect the operations of the program of the American Legion and provide increased ability for new auxiliary eligible members to support the programs of the entire Legion family. Now therefore be it resolved. The American Legion, Department of Ohio, and Department Convention assembled in Toledo, Ohio, July 10th through 12th, 2026, that it is recommended to the 2026 National Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, that Article 13, Section 2 of the National Constitution be amended to read: Section 2, membership in the American Legion Auxiliary shall be limited to the grandparents, parents, siblings, spouses, and direct and adopted descendants of the members and of the American Legion. And 2, grandparents, parents, siblings, spouses, and direct and adopted descendants of all men and women who served in either of the following periods: April 6, 1917 to November 11, 1918, and any time after December 7, 1941, who, being a citizen of the United States at the time of their entry therein, served on active duty in the armed forces of any of the governments associated with the United States during their eligibility periods, and died in the line of duty or after honorable discharge. 3, grandparents, parents, siblings, spouses, and direct and adopted descendants of all men and women who were in the armed forces of the United States during either the periods following April 6, 1917, November 11, 1918, anytime thereafter, December 7, 1941, who served on active duty in the armed forces of the United States during the eligibility periods and died in the line of duty or after honorable discharge. 4, to those veterans who of their own right are eligible for membership in the American Legion. That's what we're reading. Okay. All right, the committee had discussion on the validity of each service member's eligibility for memorial, how each memorial would be set up, and how to have national headquarters take on this program. Wait a minute, that's not the right one.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
Jacob. Okay. All right. Here we go. The 12th District Commander Heller addressed the committee to discuss the alignment of U.S. Tax Code of IRS C-19 standards and membership requirements with the American Legion Auxiliary. Adjutant Robertson gave information on past votes pertaining to this proposed resolution where it was not supported by the Department of Ohio SAL, DEC, and NEC. Jared Estep, 5th District, motion seconded by Mel Cantrell, 6th District, to recommend approval of this resolution to be forwarded to the national headquarters. Motion passed. This committee was adjourned at 4:08. So at this point in time, I guess we'll make a motion that this body make a decision to vote on this is to go when it goes on to national headquarters.
Do I hear a second? Yep. It's already been seconded. All right, discussion. Do I hear any discussion?
Commander.
Yes.
Matthew K. Michaels, Post 236, Newton Falls, Ohio. I wish to take a few moments to express some opposition to this measure, not particularly because I oppose any amendment or revision to the eligibility requirements of the auxiliary, but rather that I believe that this is going to be best served by a much greater revision of the American Legion family that is far outside of the scope of what this particular resolution would be accomplishing, and such would not be served by a simple amendment of the resolution at the national level, but instead start up as a different resolution altogether. Primarily because this resolution essentially requires the dissolution of the Sons of the American Legion, and I would actually support the dissolution entirely at national on down of the Sons of the American Legion entirely. If the auxiliary is just going to become, and I think it should, basically anybody who shares relation to a veteran that themselves was not in the service, then there is no purpose for the perpetuation of the Sons of the American Legion, and we should really restructure the entirety of the organization at a national level down into the American Legion and then related service members, family members. That is outside of the scope of this, so much so that it wouldn't just be an amendment to the resolution, but really should be a different resolution entirely if we're going to be starting to touch the Sons. And so I would actually recommend some opposition to this, voting no on this measure, so that a different resolution could be brought forward to national that would actually restructure the entirety of the American Legion family, which I think would be in the better interests of the organization as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commander John Live, 14th District Commander. I would think with our SAL opposing this, I think it should be turned down so we can have a better understanding of why our SAL is opposing this. I do not believe we should move forward with this motion or with this resolution.
Good morning. Suzette Heller, 12th District Commander, Post 1, duly elected delegate in this convention. This resolution has nothing to do with the SAL. So I just want to clarify a few things, is that, one, the NEC never saw this resolution. It went to Internal Affairs Committee, and they voted it down at National. NEC never saw this. So when the Internal Affairs Commission rejected this, it does not go before the NEC. So this resolution has never even been considered by the NEC. Secondly is SAO is a program of the American Legion. What this is asking for has nothing to do and does not affect the SAO whatsoever. This does not take away from any membership into the SAO. What this is essentially doing is aligning the American Legion Auxiliary Constitution and bylaws with what the IRS code, the tax code, actually says. The IRS tax code dictates what the membership in the American Legion Auxiliary will be. And currently, the Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion only allows for women. Now, what if my father wanted to join the American Legion? Where does he go? If I don't have a grandfather who served, if he doesn't have a father who served, where does my father go? He doesn't. Where does my brother go? He doesn't. They would not be allowed into the American Legion. There's no place for them. So what this is essentially doing is it's just asking that the American Legion acknowledge and recognize that the American Legion Auxiliary Constitution and bylaws are in conflict with what the IRS code says, and give our male family members a place to go that are not eligible for the Sons of the American Legion. I understand that this could, in fact, profoundly change the American Legion Auxiliary. And this is why people flock to the VFW, because the VFW allows all of those members into their organization in the auxiliary. They are inclusive of that, and we should be inclusive of that too. So we have a lot of first generation family members who are serving. Their family members may have never served. And so I think within the American Legion Auxiliary, there is still space for women. There's still space for just women. This does in no way proposes to abolish the Sons of the American Legion by any means. All this is saying is like national. You need to be reminded that your Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion Auxiliary, which gives the auxiliary its authority to exist, does not align with the IRS tax code. That's all this is saying. So I would want my family to participate, and I would think any new active duty member or person who is serving who has family members that can also participate in the American Legion. We are American Legion family, yes? Yes. Why would we continue to uphold a law or our Constitution and bylaws that is exclusive of them? It just doesn't make any sense. So this is not abolishing anything. What this is doing is being more inclusive. And I think that the American Legion Auxiliary is professional enough to be able to work through these changes. I know it's I don't know, but I don't speak for the American Legion Auxiliary, but what I do speak for and what I'm really proud of is the Buckeye American Legion College, because I'm just proud of them. So, and this is all forward thinking. So with that, I yield back my time.
Thank you.
That was rebuttal testimony for what the resolution that was presented. She is the sponsoring person for the resolution.
Lockyer, Commander 13th District. This should be turned down because there hasn't been enough discussion on it within the district, within the department. First we heard of it was yesterday, so it should be sent back to committee, brought to the DC, and it should be discussed in the district. I met with our SAL and our auxiliary and my delegates yesterday, and there was a lot of questions. And a lot of questions should be answered before this should even be considered to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Commander. Richard Dufford, Post 674, Wyndham, Ohio. I would actually suggest that we move to amend this resolution to include these changes to the SAL program so it does not diminish the SAL program. While the SAL is not a 501c itself like the auxiliary is, there's a reason we have an SAL, and like the auxiliary, it should include the grandfathers, fathers of, 2 levels of sanguinity. But the amendment as stated will completely crush most of the SAL. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you.
Commander Bob Baker, District 6, Second Vice. But I want to kind of direct this to JD. What is this resolution? What are they trying to do? They're going through all the reading, but it's not. And I know I'm probably not the only one that's not understanding what they're wanting to do. I mean, what are they wanting to change? I mean, just as long as somebody can explain it.
Suzanne Heller, Suzanne Heller, 12th District, delegate to this convention. What this is doing is just aligning the auxiliary eligibility for membership with what the U.S. tax code says that their membership should be. That's all this does. It's just because the American Legion National is the final authority on the auxiliary's constitution and bylaws. So in the auxiliary constitution and bylaws, it specifically says women, only female descendants are allowed to join the auxiliary, but the IRS tax code says something different. So this would just this would change it to be inclusive of fathers, of brothers, of nephews, within 2 lines of consanguinity, meaning 2 lineage.
Did that answer your question, sir?
Mr. Commander, Chris Evans, Randolph, Post 707. I call for a vote.
Question on the motion.
I've got Jason here.
Question on the motion.
All right, call for a vote. Yes.
Question on the motion.
Wasting my time. Waiting longer.
All right, all in favor of going to a vote, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Show of hands.
Well, we need a 2/3 vote, so all those that were yays, please stand up. Some to their arms, please count. Okay.
All right, requiring standing vote. District commanders and first vice. You need to poll your districts that are here, those that are delegates, and then you need to be ready in about 10 minutes, once we know you're ready, that you go to the microphone and you announce each post's vote so we can get a count. What is 2/3 of the 184 is what we need of the delegate count for this to be voted on. To go on the referral. To approve, if we do this, he's ending the discussion right now. You can't hear? He's ending the discussion right now. That's what he said. So we need 2/3 of the body to approve ending the discussion and moving to a vote. Or we don't vote. All right? Or we continue the discussion, I'm sorry. So we either end it or we continue the discussion.
Point of order, Gary. This resolution is being read, but this was part of the minutes from the resolution committee yesterday, which is also inclusive of another resolution. So we're having a debate on a resolution that wasn't set aside outside of the minutes. So Bob was still, this is part of the minutes of the resolutions committee that met yesterday.
Okay,
so
on your point of order, the fact that it wasn't called to be did separately doesn't matter. We went ahead and considered it separately with discussion, so now it's being considered separately. And then once we're done with this, we move on to the other two resolutions in the report. Because we're moving on it right now. So by de facto, we now have to deal with this.
what's the motion?
The motion is to vote. He called a vote.
Okay.
So when you call a vote, that curtails discussion earlier than we should. 2/3 have to say curtail discussion. If we say curtail discussion, we immediately go to a vote. If we don't curtail discussion, we ask, are there any other discussions? Okay, so this district, you're counting. If they say yes, they're saying curtail discussion and move to a vote. They're not voting for or against. They're just saying stop this discussion and move to a vote. And then the vote on the resolution is just 50-50. We determine whether we have more than 50% in favor.
We are in recess for 10 minutes while this tally is being taken care of by our district. In place.
Can you dismiss us?
Parliamentary has spoken. There's any discussion.
I'm just wondering how many people spoke.
Well, hell, it's time for me to take my meds anyway.
All right, while you're working, they wanted more clarification. So all you're doing districts, you go to each post. They tell you how many votes they have, by the registered delegates. So post 7 would say 3 to stop the discussion. 3 in favor of stopping discussion. That's all you're voting on. Okay? Then when the district gets up, when District 9 commander gets up and he gets to post 7, he'll say post 7. The adjutant will verify you have 3 votes, and then he gives the vote count. Just like we do at a roll call, but we're doing it with the district commander or his representative.
We got 4 votes.
Then you're voting to stop discussion. That's what you're saying.
You don't want to call the vote? You want to keep talking about it? Okay. Robert, how many representatives you guys have for your vote here? And you want to call the vote, or you want to keep talking about it? Doesn't matter, we're going to vote against it anyway. It's going to happen. I mean, how do you feel? I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
We're going to vote against it. You're against. So when you go to the money, you're supposed to do it. You want to do it?
It don't matter. It's up to you.
Because I'm going to leave right after this.
Are you? I'll be here.
I don't think there'll be another issue other than this one. But
Or no.
I'll do the large thing. I'm going to be back here getting close to a mic. I'm hanging out close to a mic back there.
All right, we're going to modify this a little bit. District commanders, once you're ready, we need to get into a microphone. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go through by post roll call. So he'll say post 615. Whoever has 615, give us the number. Then he'll go to the next post and the next post. Okay? So once we know we have 14 districts represented, Sergeant at Arms, let us know. 14 districts near the microphone. District representatives, make sure you get to a microphone. We could have some up here at the microphone up front. Once we know we have 14, we're good to go.
Let's hold it down. I need all 14 districts to the center microphone.
Could have waited until you took it. Gotcha.
stay, I mean, they close down at 10:30 or something, probably. But, I don't know. Why did they close it so early? Yeah, I don't understand that. That's not too much wrong with
Sergeant at Arms, do we have a count? All right.
I will call the post number. The district commander will reply how many votes that post is giving. We will start at 6:15. Post 6:15, District 4. Commander, how many votes? You have one vote.
Precinct 15, 1 yay.
627, District 13. 2 votes.
627. To the spot. I understand. Don't yell. 627. To the stop.
631, District 4, 2 votes.
631, 2 votes yay.
646, District 1, 1 vote.
646, 1 vote yes.
652, District 2, 1 vote.
1 vote yes.
674, District 14, 2 votes.
2 votes no.
677, Lyot.
Correction, my bad. 2 votes yes. I'm sorry. Yes to stop.
677, Lyot, District 8, 4 votes.
677, 4 votes yes.
681, District 4, 2 votes.
681, 2 votes yay.
685, District 14, 2 votes.
2 votes to stop.
707, District 3, 6 votes.
707, 6 vote yea.
733, District 5, 1 vote.
District 5, post 733, 1 vote yea.
736, District 10, 1 vote.
No.
Yes means stop the discussion. No means to continue the discussion.
Yes.
Is that a yes vote to stop discussion?
Yes, stop.
Thank you. 744, District 4, 1 vote.
744, 1 vote yay.
750 Lowell, District 11, 1 vote.
750, yes.
754 District 6, 1 vote. 1 vote.
Yes.
764 Newark, District 6, 2 votes.
2 votes yes.
768 District 11, 1 vote.
768, yes.
776 District 3, 6 votes.
776, 6 votes yes.
797 District 12, 1 vote.
Yes. All of District 12 is yes.
803 District 14, 1 vote. That was 797, 1 vote.
803 is not present in this room at this time.
So Howard.
No, I haven't seen them at all today.
Newark, 804, District 6.
Yes.
1 vote. Post 1, District 12, 1 vote.
Yes.
Post 2, District 13, 1 vote.
Post 2 is not present.
Post 3, District 1, 4 votes.
Post 3, 4 votes yes. Is anyone here from Post 1, the sponsor of this resolution? Okay, Suzette, you're the sponsor.
Yes.
Are you willing to concede that we go back, that we just go to the vote?
Yes.
Are you willing to concede to stop discussion?
Yes, I am willing to concede that we stop discussion.
All right, Commander, it's been conceded. We can move on to continue discussion. If there's no discussion, we go to the vote.
I didn't ask for the vote.
Okay, everybody in favor of stopping discussion, say yay.
Yay!
All opposed, say nay. Thank you. Motion carries to stop discussion.
We already did that.
Is there any other discussion? I surrender. Okay. All in favor of the resolution? Yay. Yay. All opposed to the resolution? Nay. Yay. Let's say the nays have it. The nays have it. Thank you. Bob, continue on.
Yes, Commander, we do have another resolution, or that was before the committee. The committee had the discussion on the validity of each service member's eligibility for a memorial, how each memorial would be set up, and how to have national headquarters take on this program. Parliamentarian Menadio and former Kristen Hogan, national headquarters, would look to a state participating funding and process before presenting it to national headquarters. Brian Fowle, 3rd District, motion seconded by Carl Swisher, 12th District, to refer this resolution to the 4th District for further development planning of this project. Motion passed. That is the report of the Resolutions Committee on yesterday, July 11th.
I need a vote on the referral. All in favor of the referral, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, Commander, for the opportunity to serve once again on your resolutions.
Thank you, Robert. I call upon the Legionnaire nominating and seconding committees for officers and tellers to report to the stage. We have come to the point where, as of the American Legion, Department of Ohio elects our officers for the coming year. Today, we will elect officers for the Department Commander, First Vice Commander, Second Vice Commander, Treasurer, National Executive Committee, and Alternate National Executive Committee. The floor is given to the nominations for Department Commander. The chair recognizes the 14th District Commander, John Life.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today to proudly offer my support for Gary Cox Jr. When I stood here before you last year, I shared one of the travels that Gary and I have taken together. Those trips gave me the opportunity to get to know him, but there is so much more to Gary than what had happened on those car rides. There have been countless hours long phone calls between Gary that we've discussed meetings, events, and experience either one of us has had witnessed. We constantly bounce ideas off each other, seeking different perspectives. One thing I've always admired about Gary is that when he doesn't understand someone's reasonings, he doesn't dismiss it. Instead, he tries to think outside the box and see the situation from another perspective. Gary also knows that he isn't perfect. This past year, he had made a decision that he believed was necessary for himself and his family. He enrolled in the Sable Warrior program because he recognized that he needed help and that he couldn't do it alone. It doesn't take strength to pretend that you have all the answers, but it takes courage to stand up and admit when you need help. And through that courage, Gary demonstrated a different kind of strength, mental and emotional strength. I believe that is one of the greatest qualities that a leader can possess. A true leader is willing to grow, to learn, and to become better, not only for themselves, but for those they serve. I believe Gary can take the experiences he has gained throughout his life, along with the growth he has achieved over this past year, and use them to lead the Department of Ohio with integrity, compassion, and strength. With that, it is my honor to nominate Gary Cox Jr. for the high office of Department Commander for the Department of Ohio.
The chair recognizes Brad Beatty from the 12th district for seconding.
Good morning. Comrades, I rise today to second the nomination of Gary Cox Jr. for the high office of the State Commander of the American Legion, Department of Ohio. I second this nomination not out of convenience and not for show, but because Gary Cox is qualified. Gary is proven, and Gary understands what it takes to lead in the American Legion at the state level. He earned his place the right way. He entered and served 8 years in the Marine Corps of the United States of America, bringing with him the discipline, commitment, and respect for mission that our veterans recognize immediately. And he didn't just pass through, he served with honor, and that background continues to shape the way he leads today. Gary's Legion story began long before he became leader on the floor. Many of you may know Gary from the time he was a pint-sized kid. He's been a member of the Sons of the American Legion since he was very young, growing up with the Legion in his life, not just visiting it when it suited him. He carried that foundation forward into adulthood and kept showing up. He kept learning and he kept serving no matter what. When Gary was a teen, his mother was a district president in the American Legion Auxiliary. And of course, his father was well involved in many aspects of the Legion structure. And if you're looking for someone who connects across the Legion family, Gary does. He is currently aligned, associated, and a prior proud member of the American Legion Riders. In fact, Gary, on this past July 5th, was lead bike for more than a dozen Legion Riders at the Mid-Ohio America 250 celebration of fitness, wellness, and service event. He is a graduate of the American Legion Buckeye Boy State program, and he is a graduate of The Ohio State University. This matters because it means he understands both the Legion's character and the real-world skills it takes to build stronger programs, communicate clearly, and keep our mission moving forward. Now, many of you have a story or two about Gary, I'm sure. You've watched him grow, as I stated, from toddler to kid to teen to young adult, someone who went to college, and onward to where he is today. He found his niche in the Ohio American Legion structure like the rest of us. He's had to navigate the system while staying connected to all the family branches. I've watched him work. I too have traveled with him to other events. He's integrated himself with other like-minded Legionnaires. Gotcha. So, for these and many other reasons, this is why I support Gary Cox for State Commander, Department of Ohio. He brings service, he brings Legion roots, he brings cross-program experience and real discipline from his Marine Corps backgrounds. He brings the willingness to learn and courage to improve. He brings the steady commitment that Ohio needs in the years ahead. So I ask you, comrades, this morning, when you cast your vote, vote for a leader who has earned it, lived it, and kept showing up to serve. Vote Gary Cox Jr. for State Commander, American Legion, Department of Ohio. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations for Department Commander? Are there any other nominations for Department Commander? Are there any other nominations for Department Commander? Hearing no further nominations, nominations for the office of Department Commander are closed. recognizing a motion from the floor that moves for the department adjutant to be instructed to cast one unanimous vote. I can't do that? They told me that would be number one. No other, since there's no other discussion, if ever, say in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say. Thank you. Let the demonstration begin. Sergeant at Arms, please escort the newly elected department commander to the stage.
I guess I won't stand for the next one.
Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the new Department Commander, Gary Cox, Jr.
You know, being here since I was younger than this young lady, seeing a lot of you move up through the chairs, as a kid, as a young adult, as a Marine, losing my dad in 2013 hurt. I didn't want to come back. It was too hard. Going through the hardest time in my life in 17. Divorce, homeless, Thank God for the Army, because it was an Army buddy that let me stay with him. And then I retired in 2018 as 100% permanent total veteran. Got my life back. Got my kids every other weekend. There's one caveat. My son, it's him, his mom, his two sisters. And he looks at her and he says, Mom, it's too much estrogen. I need more time with Dad. I want every other week. Seeing that, getting my kids, and then coming back to Buckeye Boys State, where I was a delegate with my dad in 2000. His dream was for us to be together, and I came back at 17, 4 years later, and coming back around you and going, this is where I need to be. Scott Horsington taking a chance on me to be his vice commander for the district, becoming district commander, and then the district wanting me to go a second round because of the leadership I already had. It was already showing. Ron Chapman, I got a few choice words for you. Looked at me and he goes, I want you to run for department. Commander Stan, thank you for teaching me a lot on our campaign against each other. It's been my absolute pleasure following you. And then being elected as second vice, and the support that you guys have given me. I cannot thank enough for everybody in this room. Mel Cantrell for running around with me when we were campaigning, my girlfriend Sarah for supporting me, my three kids not really knowing why Dad is gone, he's just gone with the Legion. This one coming to post events and running around. Mom was a district commander or district president back in the day. My dad was a district commander back in the day. They taught me this, fundamentals. They taught me this leadership. 70 years ago, in 1956, Fred Thacker was elected department commander at post 162 out of Marion, the first commander out of Marion County. I am now the second, 70 years later, and the youngest since 1968 by a guy by the name of Roger Munson, if anybody's ever heard of that name, past national commander. You all got me here, and as I said before, it is now time to pay that forward. I'm here for you, for your capacity, to be your next department commander from the state of Ohio. And I got one last thing to say. Ohio!
We will now hear nomination for Department First Vice Commander. The chair recognizes Suzette Heller, the Capital 12th District.
Good morning. You're welcome. Okay, Holly, thank you for asking me to do this for you. It's an honor. Legionnaires, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today to place into nomination a woman I have had the privilege of knowing and serving alongside for more than a decade. I first met Holly Lewis sometime in 2014 or 2015 when I was working for the American Legion Department of Ohio. And from that very first meeting, one thing became abundantly clear. Holly Lewis is a leader whose actions consistently speak louder than words. Leadership is not defined by a title, it is defined by character, by integrity, by the willingness to serve before being served. by the ability to inspire others to become more than they believed possible. That is Holly Lewis. Throughout her years of dedicated service, Holly has worked tirelessly to strengthen this great organization. She understands that honoring our proud traditions and preparing for our future are not competing ideas. They are complementary responsibilities. She has embraced the rich heritage of American Legion while helping position it to remain relevant and meaningful for generations to come. Holly is a strategic thinker. She possesses vision, but more importantly, she knows how to transform vision into action. She recognizes that our greatest asset has never been about our buildings or our programs. Our greatest asset is and always will be our Legionnaires. She understands that every blue cap represents a life of honorable service, sacrifice, and commitment. She knows that the true heartbeat of the American Legion lives in our posts, our counties, our districts, and in every Legionnaire who continues to answer the call to serve their community, state, and nation. Perhaps one of Holly's greatest strengths is something that cannot be measured on a resume. She is a mentor. She has invested in countless Legionnaires, and I'm proud to say I'm one of them. She has a remarkable ability to see potential in others before they see it in themselves. She encourages, teaches, challenges, and lifts others up, not because it benefits her, but because she genuinely believes that when one Legionnaire succeeds, our entire organization grows stronger. By empowering women to lead and encouraging every member to find their place of service, Holly has helped elevate the consciousness of our department. She leads with humility, conviction, respect, and always remembering that leadership is about developing others, not promoting oneself. At a time when our organization continues to evolve, we need leaders who can unite us around our common purpose while never losing sight of who we are. We need leaders who understand our history, embrace our mission, and inspire confidence in our future. We need leaders who are trusted, who listen, and who lead by example. Holly Lewis embodies every one of these qualities. It is with great respect, unwavering confidence, and sincere enthusiasm that I proudly nominate Holly Lewis for the office of First Vice Commander of the American Legion, Department of Ohio.
For the purposes of seconding speech, I present to you the past Department Commander, Jeannie Wilson, of the fabulous 4th District.
Commander Orrin, table officers, distinguished delegates, fellow Legionnaires, and guests. It is both an honor and a privilege to rise today to second the nomination of my friend, Holly Lewis. Holly has dedicated countless hours to serving veterans, their families, and our communities throughout the state of Ohio. Her unwavering commitment to the principles of the American Legion is evident in every office she has held, every project she has undertaken. As a Navy veteran, a proven leader, Holly has consistently demonstrated integrity, dedication, and a servant's heart. She has served with distinction at her post, the district, department, and national, always placing the needs of our veterans and our organization first. Her leadership has inspired members across Ohio, across the nation. Her passion for mentoring future leaders ensures that our American Legion remains strong for generations to come. Holly understands that the American Legion is built on service to veterans, service to our communities, service to our nation, and service to one another. She leads not by words alone, but by example, earning the respect and admiration of all those who've had the privilege of working beside her. Her vision, her experience, her commitment makes her exceptionally qualified to continue leading our American Legion Department of Ohio. I have every confidence that she'll represent our members with honor, professionalism, and dedication. For these reasons, and with great pride and enthusiasm, I, a duly elected delegate to this convention, second the nomination of Holly Lewis for the office of First Vice Commander for the Department of Ohio, American Legion for 26-27. Thank you, and for God and country.
Are there any other nominations for First Vice Commander? Are there any other nominations for First Vice Commander? Are there any other nominations for First Vice Commander? Hearing no further nominations, nominations for the office of First Vice Commander are closed. There being no other nominations, is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none? All in favor? Say aye. Aye. Oh, any opposed? I didn't think it would be, but I'm sorry. Motion carries. I'm gonna get out of this job. Sergeant of Arms, please bring our escort, our duly elected First Vice Commander, go forward.
You can sit down. So the first thing I'm going to say is thank you to my husband, Matt, who has always had my back. And I'm going to say that first because I always forget. And then I get fined and all the things. I'm going to keep this short. I am so honored to be your First Vice Commander. Many of you who don't know me, I'm going to tell you, I'm intense. Many of you who do know me know that's true. And I promise you that we are going to grow our membership this year. That's a done deal as far as I'm concerned. And if you don't like hearing from me, you should probably do your membership. Just saying. Although I like to talk to everybody. But I really believe we can do it. We can do it. This is a great organization. We can do it. So I thank you, and we'll move along. Thank you very much.
We now hear nominations for the Department Second Vice Commander. The Chair recognizes Lance McCarthy from the 12th Capital 12th District.
Good morning, Legionnaires. Commander Orr, delegates and guests, this morning I get to place a nomination for the American Legion, Department of Ohio, second vice, my close friend, fellow Legionnaire, Ken Lavoie. I've known Ken for 25 years and have served and supported him in various special operations units in both peacetime and in combat until our retirements. Ken is a true dedicated leader who is not only hardworking but respected for his treatment of others and focused team approach. Ken joined the military in 1986 and served nearly 31 years in the Army and Army Reserve before retirement as a colonel. Ken earned his eligibility for membership in our American Legion with his service during Desert Storm as an infantry anti-tank company commander while serving at Fort Benning, Georgia. Ken has been a member of the American Legion and Post 598 in Kettering, Ohio for nearly 30 years, and he served as the Post First Vice Commander. Ken also served as the 3rd District Finance Officer, 2nd Vice Commander, and 1st Vice Commander, and the District Commander. As the Commander in 2023-24 for the Thundering Third, he was the only district within the department to reach quota that year. On the department level, he has served as the Legislative Commission Chair, the Dean of Buckeye American Legion College, the Finance Commission Chair, the Department Assistant Sergeant-at-Arms, and the Department Treasurer. Going forward, Ken has a focused and determined outlook for the post, district, and department activities and are in direct support of our membership. As he stated in his speech on Friday evening, we have to stop the hemorrhaging of our membership. On the national level, he has served as the Employment and Education Commission, the Convention Commission, and now serves as the Chairman of Veterans Employment and Preference Committee and Resolutions and Screen Committees under the Veterans Employment and Education Commission. He is also serving as the Convention Chairman when the National Convention comes to Columbus, Ohio in 2028. Ken is also a graduate of the National American Legion College in 2018 and a co-founder of the Buckeye American Legion College. He is also selected to serve as an academic director for the National American Legion College in Indianapolis, Indiana, and will be serving in that capacity again this year. Not only does Ken maintain 2 LLCs in his retirement, he also serves as Director, Senior Instructor, and Adjunct Faculty for the Joint Special Operations University, where he travels internationally instructing special foreign operations militaries and assisting U.S. embassies abroad. Ken has been married to his lovely wife, Michelle, for 24 years, and they reside in Kettering, Ohio. Michelle has been a constant source of strength and support for her husband during Ken's military career, and that commitment has continued as Ken has moved through the various positions within the American Legion. Ken will do a fantastic job as our department's 2nd Vice Commander. It is my true honor and privilege as a delegate to this convention to place in nomination Kenneth J. Lavoie for Department's 2nd Vice Commander for 2026-2027.
For the purposes of speech, seconding the speech, I present to you Jeff Larkin from the Thundering Third.
Thank you, Commander Warren, officers, fellow Legionnaires, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff Locke, by the way. And as a duly appointed delegate to this convention, proudly representing the largest and best post in Ohio, Kettering Post 598. It is my distinct privilege to stand before you today
I am here to enthusiastically second the motion for nomination of Post 598's very own Ken LaVoy for the high office of Second Vice Commander for the Department of Ohio. Now, many of you already know Ken, but for those of you that haven't had the pleasure yet, I'll tell you this: you want to know him. Ken is a man of high moral character, integrity, charisma, and he has sharp business acumen. Whether you need support as an individual or guidance for a post, Ken is consistently there, always doing what is right and putting others first. Put simply, Ken is a class act. Ken truly embodies what it means to be a Legionnaire. His life is defined by service and devotion to his country, his community, his friends, and the American Legion. And of course, none of this would be possible without the love and unwavering support of his wife, Michelle, who unfortunately is not here this weekend. Comrades, the American Legion needs leaders to look to the future. I firmly believe Ken will help move the department forward and in that right direction. That is why I am deeply honored and humbled to second the nomination of my good friend Ken LaVoy for the high office of Second Vice Commander of the Department of Ohio. Go Army! Thank you.
If there's no other nominations to come before the Department for Second Vice Commander, is there any more other nominations to come forward the Second Vice Commander? Is there any other nominations for Department Second Vice to come forward? I hear no other further nominations. Nominations for the office of Second Vice Commander are closed. There being no other nominations, seeing how there's no other nominations, is there any further discussion? If you really write this small, I could see it's all my fault. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Sergeant at Arms, please escort the newly elected Department Second Vice Commander to the stage. Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you Department Second Vice Commander Ken LaVoy.
Thank you. I first have to say I want to thank my wife for her support, her continued support, as you heard, through my military career and, of course, as a Legionnaire. As Jeff had mentioned, you may have noticed that she wasn't able to be with me this morning. She's not feeling well. It's not because of what had transpired last year on the convention floor. And I will share with you if you want to remember back to that fine day. When you run for office, they tell you a lot of things. You get hit from all sides on what you should do and what you should not do. You need a 3-minute speech on this day. You need a 2-minute speech on that day. You need to walk here. You need to go to the back and be escorted forward. So Trying to remember all the steps, we went to the back to be escorted up after the election, and Mike Blackwell, as a sergeant-at-arms, was back there to escort us forward. Because I was so focused and tunnel visioned, I think my wife took one step off the back there, and I was already on stage. I left her completely behind. So, with that being said, she really wanted to be here, and I'm looking forward to getting home because I do travel a lot, and I want to spend that quality time that I can with her. Holly mentioned it, and I mentioned it on my speech on Friday. We need to stop the hemorrhaging. We need to focus on membership. Activities are going to support Holly. Membership drives the mission, and it's time to get started. So let's begin. Thank you.
We will now hear nominations for Department Treasurer. The Chair recognizes PDC Jason Rue from the Great First District.
Thank you, Commander, officers, delegates, and guests. It's an honor to stand before you today and nominate a friend of mine, Dean Boyers, for the high office of Department Treasurer. Dean earned his membership by serving 4 years in the Air Force as a crew chief assigned to a C-130. Dean was also a firefighter, paramedic for 25 years for Sylvania Township Fire Department. Dean is a puffle at Joseph W. Dean Post 468 in Sylvania. He's served every office there, and I know he was a commander at least 3 years there. He is also a Sons of the American Legion member at Squadron 265 in Wasion. Dean is a National American Legion College graduate. He has been a BALC instructor since 2024. Dean served as the Great First District Commander this past year and has done an outstanding job with the help of the officers he has with him. It was a great year. When I was going through the chairs at district and getting out, I saw a gentleman who I thought a lot of, and I thought had a lot of potential in the American Legion. And I pushed for Dean to run through the district chairs back then. When I was elected department commander, you get to put somebody on the finance committee. Dean was my choice for the finance committee because I know what Dean can do. Dean has done great things for our finance committee, and I know he'll do a great job as our department treasurer. With the support of Melissa, his 3 sons, and their 3 grandchildren, Dean is the right choice for our department treasurer. So it is with great honor that I stand before you to place Dean Boyer's name for the high office of department treasurer. Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Oh, there. The Chair recognizes Randy Roberts from the Great First District for the nomination.
Good morning. The litmus test of a true leader is his ability to serve other people. It is also humility. It is said that the greatest among us will be our servant. Dean Boyer, through his service to this country, to his family, through his work as a firefighter and a paramedic, all through the chairs
of the American Legion. He has proven his ability to lead and to serve. Dean has a unique ability, and I say unique because not all of us have it, and that is the ability to see someone in need and to take care of them. It is my honor to second the nomination for Dean Boyer for the Department Treasurer for 2026-27.
Now we'll try it again. Are there any other nominations for Department Treasurer? Are there any other nominations for Department Treasurer? Are there any other nominations for Department Treasurer? Hearing no further nominations, nominations for the office of Department Treasurer is closed. Yes, just make it up. There being no other nominations, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the same. Now, Sergeant at Arms, escort our new Department Treasurer, Finance Treasurer. Department Treasurer. Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the Department Treasurer.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife, Melissa, for the everyday support that she gives me. I'd also like to thank my post Joseph W. Dean, Post 468 in Sylvania. I'd like to thank the Lucas County Council, and I'd like to thank the Great First District for all the support that they've given me over the years. Without them, I could not be here today. As I vowed to you on Friday night, I will do my absolute very best to track that budget that you approved for me and keep that on track for your finances for the 26-27 fiscal year. Thank you.
I will now hear nominations for National Executive Committeeman. The chair recognizes Gary Minadio from the Dynamic Ninth.
Commander Delegates, I rise to nominate to the high office of alternate National Executive Committee. Now, my wife, as I was leaving, said, Gary, be positive. And I will. This person has a loving heart, is understanding, a good listener, loves Legionnaires, and a hard worker. I am here to nominate Barb Schmidt to the... Oh, damn, that's his wife. So let me talk about Bob. I know, I've learned well from Stan, I'm sorry. Robert Schmidt, Bob Schmidt, for this high office. I wonder why, because 90% of the time, Bob disagrees with anything I do. But We discuss, we argue. Sometimes he changes my mind, sometimes I change his mind. Sometimes we just go ahead and turn on someone else and make them feel bad about us. Bob's a go-getter. Now, the one qualification that we should put him in as the NEC is that Kathy didn't kill him in the past year. Right? Past 2 years? Past 2 years. I think of that. He and Kathy going to the NEC and Bob shutting his mouth. So Kathy, that's a big thing for me. He lived through it. The one thing we want to send Bob there for, and the reason I like Kathy being there, was that I think we should punish the NEC any way we can. Bob, if we elect you, and we should, because I don't think anyone else wants to do this, I think you should just unleash the Kraken, baby. Unleash the Schmidt on him. Do whatever you can. And God help the alternate who has to try to shut up and keep you in control. So that's about it for me, because Charlie's coming up and I know he's got a load of stuff to say. I love this man. He's a hard worker. He knows how to just get in there and talk about things and get it done and then give you an honest opinion. I never have to worry about whether he's hiding anything. He's transparent. I love that, whether you agree with me or not. He's transparent, and we need him at the NEC to guide us in the future for the American Legion. Without any doubt, and with the highest respect, I nominate Robert Schmidt and his wife, Barbara, to the high office of NEC.
The chair recognizes past department commander Charles Stennett from the Dynamic Ninth. Watch me. Just watch me. Distinguished guests, my fellow Legionnaires, it is my privilege to nominate Bob Smith, to second the nomination of Bob Smith for the office of NEC. I know he will do a fantastic, you know what, let me stop with this. I'm stepping out of character. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bob has not only been a mentor to me, but he has also put his foot in my behind a few times also. And some of those times were warranted. And this is what we need in National. Somebody who's going to rattle a cage, push some folks, and speak his mind. Not to just go along with the program. That's what we need from this department. That's what we need up at National. And that's why, again, I second that nomination. But I would be remiss if I did not have a Bob Smith story. I would be remiss. You see, Bob and I were working on a project up in Youngstown, and I had an opportunity to talk to our fellow policemen up there. And when I made that call to the detective, the first thing he mentioned to me, knowing that I was a Legionnaire, he said, do you know Bob Smith? And I said, yes, I do. He said, we are looking for some information on him because we need to talk to him. So in less than 2 minutes, I gave him his name, his address, where he was living, his phone number, everybody who lived in his house, everything. Because I quickly told that detective I am too pretty to go to jail. You and I will be going outside after this. But Commander, I would like to second the nomination for not only my friend, my comrade, my mentor, Mr. Bob Smith. Are there any other nominations for National Executive Committeeman? Are there any other nominations for National Executive Committee? Are there any other nominations for National Second Committeeman? Hearing no further nominations, nominations for the office of National Executive Commission closed. By being no other nominations, Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed the same. Sergeant at Arms, escort, National Committeeman, Executive Committee to the Chief. Ooh, easy, Bard. Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the National Executive Committeeman, Robert Schmidt.
Thank you. I appreciate the confidence that you've had and the support that you've given me all these years, and it's time for me to be able to open my mouth and say something. At National, I won't do that. You guys, this has been a great convention, and it's almost time for us to get the heck out of here after we elect the alderman NEC and move on with our lives and get the Legion year going for this 26-27 year. So hopefully we're going to help the leadership here get membership. We're going to improve a lot of the programs, hopefully with your help out there. So, but I'm going to do my part at the national organization to try to get Ohio more recognized. But that's kind of hard to do when you got some NECs out there that's got 40 years plus on the NEC list. But anyways, thank you very much for the time, and I appreciate it. I'm going to do what I can for the Department of Ohio.
I will now hear nominations for Alderman and National Executive Committee. The chair has Commander Richard Zoltz from the Great First District.
Thank you, Commander. You're short. Time will be over very shortly, and we're ready for a lot of new things to happen. And congratulations to all the newly elected officers of the Department of Ohio. Congratulations to all of you. We're positive that we're going to have a great coming year. That happens, will be great. You know, I picked a lot of things out to talk about Jason today, so I ripped it right out of the magazine. Simplifies it, and you can follow right along. You know, Jason was he was our department commander a couple of years ago, did a great job. I'm very happy with what he did. He has everything in the world going for him. He served 2 tours overseas, Iraq and Afghanistan. He has a marketing degree, he has a master's degree, he has a great wife. His wife is newly elected president of the Ohio Auxiliary. Congratulations. You know, there's a lot of things on this piece of paper that we could talk about for probably 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm certainly not going to do that. My knew I would get a standing ovation over that. Come on, guys. Therefore, I proudly place the name of Jason Rue in nomination for the high office of National Executive Committeeman. Thank you. I'm sorry, alternate next.
That's all right, I taught you well too. The chair now recognizes Bernie Rao from the Great First District.
Good day. I'm from Post 541, which is Jason's home post. So I've been with Jason through post, district, and department offices. Jason's a motivator, he's a debater, he's respected, educated, and experienced. He is the right person for the job, so in my opinion, his appointment to the alternate NEC is a no-brainer. I proudly endorse and second Jason's nomination as our alternate to the National Executive Committee.
So you told me to get it right. Are there any other nominations for alternate National Executive Committee? Are there any other nominations for alternate National Executive Committee? Are there any other nominations for alternate National Committee? Hearing no further nominations, nominations for the office of alternate Executive Committee are closed. Being no other nominations, it is any discussion here? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed the same. Sergeant at Arms, escort the newly selected alternate National Executive Committeeman to the stage. Fellow Legionnaires, I present to you our alternate National Executive Committeeman, Jason Rue.
Thank you. Like Melissa, I didn't want to get fined either. Thank you to my wife Minnie for being supporting behind me all this time, going through the chairs. I'm going to be short and brief because I can't talk as the alternate NEC, but thank you for your support, and I'm trying to keep Bob in line. Thank you.
Good morning. Will Ruth Orn and Kaylin Cox please join us on the stage? We will now transition Commander Stan Orn's cap to past department commander.
I call past Department Commander Roger Friend from the sizzling 6th District to perform the installation of department officers.
Good morning. There have been a lot of situations already expressed, so I'll just say good morning to everybody as I did. Sergeant Barnes, bring forward all the newly elected department and district officers for their installation. District officers may not line up across the stage in front of me.
Water here.
Okay. My fellow Legionnaires, you have been chosen to fill the various offices of the American Legion Department of Ohio. In your respective districts, I know you will vindicate the trust that has been placed in you. I know you will faithfully fulfill every obligation required of you. Familiarize yourself with the duties of the offices and carry out those duties with the same spirit from which across the American Legion. The welfare and success of this department depends upon all of you, as does the preservation and the integrity of the American Legion. Protect the good name of the American Legion with the people of our great nation. Help them to know the Legion's purposes and policies. Remember that tolerance animates us as members, and remember that there is no rank among us, for we are all equals. We are all here aiming for the same goal, the ideals of the justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. Remember, too, that the cardinal principles of the American Legion are the rehabilitation of all disabled veterans, the care of the dependents of those who have answered the final call, the care of those who are now suffering from wounds, disease, and want, the education of our children, and the service of those communities, state, and nation. Legionnaires, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office of the American Legion that I am about to assume. And I further pledge I am not a member of and do not subscribe to the principles of any group opposed to our form of government. Congratulations. No, wait a minute. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet, guys. That's all right. Commander Cox, you are entrusted with very important duties. You must teach and protect the cardinal principles of the American Legion throughout the Department of Ohio. You are entrusted with the supervision of the duties of all officers of the department. Loyal to the American Legion, to its members, and to the national organization are obligations which you now assume. You are more than just a presiding officer. You are a guided you are guided by the Constitution and the decisions of the department as a body, yet the responsibilities of this department is largely upon your shoulders. You must familiarize yourself with the traditions of the Department of Ohio and the American Legion. By your sincere acceptance and the earnest performances of those duties, may the trust in your fellow Legionnaires have responded in you to be justified. I extend the congratulations to all of the Legionnaires of the Department of Ohio and wish you well as you assume the duties of your office. Congratulations, Commander. Now face the members of your department. My fellow Legionnaires, I present to you the officers of the American Legion Department of Ohio. I congratulate you on the selections you have made, you have chosen, and now it is your duty to aid them in every way. Help them to keep the American Legion faithful to its principles and ideals. Thank you very much. Commander Warren, this concludes the installation of the officers.
Now, at this time, the membership recruiters card drawing, every member that signed up a new member or reinstated an existing ex-member will be eligible for this drawing, providing a verified recruiter card was sent in by the post adjutant and verified by department. So at this time, we will conduct the recruiter drawing consisting of 15 winners. Will Gary Cox please conduct the draw?
If you're here, I want to hear you. Joe Law. Howard Stouffer. No, just stay where you're at. You don't need to come up. Mark Wexler. Betsy Law. Betsy Law. Robert Stegman. Jeannie Wilson. Yay! Al Buxton. Hey! We're splitting it. Kurt Emmons. Huh? Wrong Emmons? Okay, I got the correct. Donnie Chandler. Hey, Donnie. John Grandal. Kurt Emmons. How do you get Kurt? Chappie. Jeannie Wilson. Yay! Ron Rudder.
The American Legion Charities, Inc. mail out raffle tickets for cash prizes up to $5,000. I call on Charles Stennett, the American Legion Department of Ohio Charities, Inc., to conduct the prize drawing. Good morning, everyone. Two things that we did in the Charities Committee did in the DEC on Thursday. The first thing that we did is that it's the same thing, is that we made Glenn Hickman and Jim Morris emeritus members of this committee. We wanted to thank them for their service over the years, and especially being two founding members of this committee. Okay, let's get started. You know what? I'll fix them later. Donald Green? Mary Ann? No, we did away with 50. Now something? Check. All right. We are double checking on the amounts right now, but our second winner is Richard Schwinkel. Schwenke? Robert, Richard Schwenke, Waynesville, Ohio.
How much?
We're double checking in the back. We don't have the sheet up here. I do apologize. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, he's bringing the sheet up right now. Our next winner is Monty, last name is spelled G-E-U-Y, from Massillon, Ohio. Our next winner is Richard McGarvey from Springsboro, Ohio. All righty. So we have 11 prize winners. Actually, we've changed it up from last year. Our 6th through 11th place winners will win $250 each. Our 4th and 5th prize winners will win $500 each. Our 3rd place prize winner will win $1,000. And our 2nd prize winner will win $2,500. And our top winner will win $5,000. You also get an additional $250 that you'll have to split with me if you're present. All righty. Our next winner is Floyd Tackett, and that is our winner number 5. No. This is this is the last 250. All righty. Our next winner is James Coppin from Anna, Ohio. All righty. So our next 2 winners will be for $500. All righty. Our next winner is Robert Saltzman from Columbus, Ohio. Our next $500 winner is William O'Connell from Ada, Ohio. The next one is our 3rd prize winner, which is for $1,000. Dennis Shoemaker from Wellington, Ohio. Our next winner is for $2,500. Michael E. Shea from Heath, Ohio. All right. And our last winner here is for $5,000. Yep. All righty. Our next winner is Charles Stennis. Our $5,000 winner is Stephanie Blaine. Stephanie Blaine. We want to thank everyone for participating, and thank you again. Everyone have a safe trip home.
I didn't win on the post. They rip me off every year.
Yep.
The new department executive committee will meet in the Jefferson A and B immediately following the closing of the convention and complete the official photographs. You must get your official headshot before you enter the BEC. Okay. Yes.
Real quick, we had a bottle donated to the department to raise funds for Commander's Orange Project. We raised $575 over the weekend, and I am going to draw the ticket right now, which is a blue ticket. 21246137. Anybody? Anybody? 137.
Yeah, right here.
All right. See me after the meeting. I'll give you the bottles. All right. Thank you all for the donations.
I thank you all for taking that booze back into Putnam County.
You're welcome.
At this time, I would like to have our department assistant chaplain give the benediction. Sharon McCain.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here together today and for guiding our decisions and discussions. We grant thee for the wisdom shared and the ideas exchanged and the spirit of cooperation that has filled this room. As we leave this meeting, we may many of the seeds that we have planted grow into actions and bring positive change. Grant us clarity into our steps and courage to face challenges and compassion in all our interactions. Bless each person here with a safe travel as they go about their way, in new energy and the hearts committed to work ahead. And may we continue to serve with integrity, humility, and purpose. In your name we pray, amen. Cover.
Thank you, Sharon. With the colors in place. So hand salute, 1. 2. I now declare the 107th Annual Convention of the American Department of Ohio officially closed. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're good.